All right, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. It's been a long time I haven't been in university, and I never have thought I would be invited to talk about the Climate Fresk, so it's really a pleasure to be here. I will start with one question, which is, when it comes to the ecological crisis, where are you situated? So that's a graph done by the Psychologists for Future in Germany. I tried to translate it a little bit. So it's the changing state of emotions after a mourning phase from Kübler-Ross, but it's really applicable for the ecological crisis. So just take a time to where are you on this curve when it comes to the ecological crisis. And just keep it for yourself. I'm going to tell you where I was 2 years ago. Completely here, even 3 years ago. Imagine 2020 pandemic. I didn't know that yet. I just quit my job on the basis of I'm gonna travel the world by bike and then write a book. I need a break. It's March 2020, so no bike across the world. Writing a book is way complicated than I thought, and I haven't written a book. So I'm unemployed, bored, and very, very concerned about the ecological crisis, and I don't know what to do about it. I really feel powerless, so that's me in 2020. And the good news is that now I'm here. I'm here in the acceptance and action phase, and why I'm here, it's mostly because of the Climate Fresk. So the Climate Fresk is both a workshop. It's based on the IPCC report. I think you here all know what the IPCC is, so I'm not going to take time to explain that. And it's a collaborative workshop to just take a step back and then understand the physics and consequences of climate change. We can do it in person and we can do online. The online stuff of 2020, you all know it, you all have done many things online. I did the Climate Fresk online. But it's not only a workshop, and I'm going to come back to the workshop later on, but it's also a communities. And the Climate Fresk has managed to spread around 50 countries, has been translated in 45 languages. 1 million people participated in a workshop, and there are 40,000 facilitators. How did that all happen? Because the Climate Fresk was created in 2018, I think, so it's a very fast growing mechanism, I would say. So let me come back to the workshop so you really understand maybe what it is. It's always difficult to explain all the steps of the workshop. So it's 3 hours. The first part of the workshop, you have to put other team cards together, 42 cards that summarize mainly the IPCC report from the working group 1, a little bit from the working group 2. And yeah, as a team, you put from causes to consequences all the cards together. Then all the participants have the same understanding of climate change in front of their eyes. It's no denial possible. It's really a slap in your face if you never looked at it. So we take a step back, and there is a creativity phase. So we really put arrows between the cards, what causes what, etc. But then we also take time for discussion. And this discussion part is really important because if you know how climate change can be very polarizing and where we just fight against each other, it's because we don't have the same understanding of the problem. Maybe you are an expert in agriculture, another one is expert in biodiversity, and then, for example, the topic of meat can very be emotional because obviously complex topic, I guess you know it. And here we have the same data in front of our eyes, so it really we managed to have a common grounds for discussion. And the Climate Fresk does not give solution hands-on. That's an important thing. We try to bring the participant to think of solution themselves. Because if we need to discuss solution, they are not applicable everywhere all the time. And also, if it comes from top down, there is less buy-in, obviously. So if participant says, I am going to do that, there is more chance that they will do it than if I told them, please do it. So that's how the steps of the workshops are going on. And what we say the success factors is because it's playful. So we try to gamify the IPCC. That's just, I don't know. It's for me, it's crazy what the creator of this game, Cedric Regenbach, managed to do. It's collaborative, so it's not a lecture. It is visual, so you really see what's in it. The creativity aspects also bring other people in, and it's super simple to organize. You need a table and you need 42 cards, and you can do it. And it's scientific, and the scientific aspects already mentioned based on the IPCC, but because of that validation, we really managed to talk to people who are not on the same political spectrum, and that is also the real force of this. Now, my favorite things about it is the snowball effect. So once one has participated in a workshop, if we liked it, we can become a facilitator. And no need to be a climate expert, no need to be, I don't know, Luisa Neubauer, or, like someone knowing a lot, able to speak in public. Everybody can do it. Do a training, and then you go on. And just to illustrate this snowball effect, I am also a volunteer referent for the Climate Fresk in Germany, and I have been trying to develop the Climate Fresk in Germany, not alone, and you will see why it's important. So that's the number of participants in Germany, and it's just skyrocketing. So I like to say that's the only exponential curves I like to see, not the CO2 concentration.
It's very similar.
It's really similar, but it's people who played the Climate Fresk in Germany in the last 3 years. Now, I became a facilitator around that time. Then I cycled to COP26 to Glasgow from Munich, facilitating workshops on the way. Coming back to the COP26, I met with the international community of some Climate Fresk facilitator. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring that tool to Germany together with other facilitators. So we were kind of 5 facilitators who became trainers themselves, so to train new facilitators. And then you can see that with 5 trainers, then we just managed to train new facilitators, and then the course went going. And it's really, we can see it here, it's the number of facilitators in Germany, so no more than 800 facilitators. That illustrates really that 800 people empower to spread climate science and move people into action. And so I'm only one amongst many, that we have like a personal counter where you say, I have facilitated that many workshops, I did the trainings, etc. So that's my statistics, so to say. I'm quite proud of it. It's not yet 500 people, but it's gonna happen. But that's, now I'm part of a big community. If you look at the numbers worldwide, the more than 1 million participants and now almost 50,000 facilitators around the world. And it's just a real joy and a real, I don't know, when you feel you can't act on things, you know that there are other 50,000 other people doing exactly the same as I'm doing around the world, trying to spread climate science and move people into actions. And the thing that I found even better is that this community knows that climate is not the only issue. And there are many workshops that have been developed on the same model. And especially what I like is, I have them here in French, but the biodiversity collage, for example, of the ocean thing. So they took the same format, kind of, and going into the same model. And usually it's when you are a facilitator of the Climate Fresk, you are also a facilitator of one of these workshops and all the workshops that there is. So it means we are a community of people trying to spread environmental knowledge, not only climate. And that's how I managed to go from this depression and suffering, because obviously the situation hasn't changed that much in 3 years. And yet my approach to it changed a lot. And I think what the Climate Fresk managed to do is to bring people, like, let's help each other to be here, all of us, in terms of learning and be feeling empowered to spread that knowledge, and feeling empowered to talk about climate change to people who never took the time to think about it. So that is my own talk. I think it's 10 minutes already, or 15 minutes.
Perfect.
That's it. So,
Thank you so much. This was great.